Do you have AOD mentality? Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. Today I'm talking about AOD mentality. Have you ever heard of that? AOD, I'm not talking about AOC, I'm talking about AOD. And I'm referencing a very old book. It's called Acres of Diamonds. And the plain fact of the matter is that most people have never read it, okay? Go get yourself a copy of this book. I'd hold up a copy of the book, but I think I'm letting somebody borrow it. I wasn't able to find it on my bookshelf or anywhere else. So, great book, tiny book, free online. You can get it free online. You can find it a million places because it's so old. It's in the public domain. It's no longer. But you could still buy it. You can still buy a hard copy if you prefer to read it that way. But if you like reading on a tablet or something like that, grab it. You want to get an audiobook version of it, that's out there too. I think you can find one on YouTube. It's called Acres of Diamonds. Now, what is an Acres of Diamonds mentality, or as I like to say, AOD mentality? Well, you got to know the story. I'm going to tell you the basic story, and it goes into more depth. It's worth reading. I'm not ruining it for you, but I'll tell you the basic moral of the story. And that's that this guy went searching for all the greatest diamonds of the world and went all over trying to find just these perfect jewels, right? And it turned out that in his own backyard, they were right there the whole time. All he had to do was dig where he was pay attention to where he currently stood, and there were diamonds everywhere. Acres worth, hence the name. Okay, what's the moral? The moral is you have to have an abundance perception of things, meaning that you have to view things as being, you have to view opportunity, you have to view success, you have to view money in terms of it being abundant, of it always being there, always being available. Now, when you were at your most successful at any given time, a lot of the people that watch this are business owners or executives, people that are in charge and like being that way. And if you are, even if you've lost that mentality, you know that when you were gaining, you had that mentality. You had, or at least you didn't think about it. You didn't even conceive of scarcity. See, because as soon as you start getting caught up in scarcity, which most of the world is, and we're talking about it all the time. It's like what I discussed last week about time. Time is one of those things we're always talking about with scarce words. I ran out of time. There's just not enough hours in the day. You know, all the different things that we say over and over and over again. None of us even think twice about it. It's because we're built, at least we're taught to think in scarcity terms of everything's running out, there's not enough money, there's not enough food, there's not enough anything, not enough time. If you think in an abundance mentality and you really step back and look at the world, there's more than enough of everything. And not only that, there's more than enough right here, right now for you. This concept came into mind because we were working on, me and Sean E. Douglas, our podcast producer. We were sitting back and we're working on a new podcast. Now we're not stopping this one, and we're not stopping our other Off the Grid Biz podcast, which you can find at offthegridbiz.com. But we're introducing a new season there, and we're adding a brand new podcast on top of that. And it's one of those that wouldn't normally, you wouldn't even think that it would be attractive to most of you out there. But some of you it will be, and some of you, even though you may not be initially interested in the topic, you're smart enough to realize that it can apply back to your business if you do it right. So, and I'll tell you more about that as we get going. But I'll tell you how I came up with the idea. Okay, so we're sitting there and we're going through all these different people that I know. That a lot of them that I either know of, or I personally know, and these are people that I'm going to be interviewing for this podcast, and it's endless. And not only is it endless, I know that those people know people that would also fit the topic for this podcast. And it can go on and on and on. And by the time you've gotten through everybody that could possibly be a fit, you can go and re-interview the same people over again, because you're a few years down the road and you're going to want to hear what they're doing now. So that's abundance. And when it hits you, it's like, God, I think we all find ourselves in a situation where we're thinking scarce thoughts, where we're thinking there's, I don't know if there's enough. I don't know. It's always in the back of our mind. But if you can catch that and pull back and see that real reality is abundance. There are diamonds everywhere. You just got to start looking. You got to realize that your opportunities, that the resources that you need to be able to move forward, they're right there at your fingertips. Especially nowadays with the internet, with communication, everything else. We have no excuse but to get out there and get things moving. It's all up here. If you could just control that, get your AOD mentality going, and you'll see, you'll be right back on top of it, even if you're not right now. So I wanted to remind you to go to brianjpombo.com and check out the Amazon Proof Strategy Session. That is a specific strategy session where we sit down either on a video chat or a telephone call. If you're anywhere near me, I wouldn't mind getting together with you one-on-one, where we can talk about your business and discuss how to build out a strategy to defeat your competition. That's what Amazon Proof is all about. It's the Amazon Proof Strategy Session. That's at brianjpombo.com/Amazon. That link's in the description, so just go and click on it, because we're done here. We'll see you tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.